Geek Insider presents Geek Speak with Matthew Harris and Meredith Loughlin. We cover entertainment, news, and tech with special guest appearances. So sit back and enjoy as we geek out together right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of Geek Speak with Matthew Harris and me. I'm Meredith Loughlin, and I need to find the card so I can pull that down.
That happens to me a lot. And this is a special edition, guys, because we had to do things a little differently for this.
We had to do things a lot different today.
Yeah, this is a special Friday episode, and we have now gotten to a point where we are on the press junket, so to speak, and with several studios and publicists. And so sometimes we get opportunities to interview somebody that's not available during our regular show time. And sometimes, like you'll see today, we only get a little bit of time with somebody.
Exactly. And then today what happened was we were supposed to have 10 minutes, and 10 minutes is like, what are you going to do in 10 minutes? I mean, have you seen our show? But then because of technical difficulties and because we weren't using StreamYard, it was very clear that we had to use something else. So we were scrambling because we wanted to get the interview done with Aya Cash. She is a lead role in Scare Me, which is you know what? I'm gonna read this really quickly. Let me just put this image up because it cracks me up. And let me read from their press release. Scare Me is a clever and chilling hybrid of humor and horror that subverts the cabin in the woods trope. Propelled by Cash and Ruben's comedic chemistry, Scare Me ventures into darker territory, drawing dread and pathos from the gender hostilities driving Fanny and Fred's game of ghost stories. Ooh.
And I reviewed it last week because I watched it last week under a screener, and I wasn't able to say much about it. I really enjoyed this one. Brenda and I did a Shudder weekend. We watched a couple of other movies along with this, and I think Josh Ruben does a fantastic job. He writes and directs and co-stars in this, but his acting, and I didn't even know he was the writer and director till after I saw it. But he's so entertaining, attempting to bring his scary stories to life. But Aya Cash, she plays Fanny Abbey, which I can't wait to ask Josh about. I know where that name came from, but she's this cute, enthralling, and chilling character all at the same time. And it's very, very entertaining. It's not your run-of-the-mill indie horror movies. And as a matter of fact, I can say that about all the Shudder films that I've seen. They seem to be well written, well directed, and well acted. And there's plenty of laughs in Scare Me, and there's some great creepy vibes throughout the night. There's also what's his name? Chris Red. He's from Saturday Night Live and Disjointed. Netflix is just Disjointed. He delivers a pizza about halfway through the movie, and it becomes a lot of fun. But Meredith, let's go ahead and play the interview real quick, let's play the trailer first, then we'll play the interview.
Oh, you want to play okay. I was thinking about doing the trailer at the end, but that's okay.
Well, either way.
The trailer. Yeah. Well,
yeah, let's do the interview first.
Why don't we do the interview first? And for anybody who's watching live, we are live right now, and but we had to do this pre-recording with Aya just so that we could get the interview with her and get that under our belts. So, but the really cool thing is on October 1st, when Scare Me is released to the public on Shudder, we have Josh Ruben. But in the meantime, this is a really super quick interview with her. Sorry if you want to leave comments and stuff like that. If you do, maybe we can forward them to her. I don't know. But here we go. I'm going to start playing that. And then Matthew and I were going to go in the green room so that you're not distracted by anything else.
Nice to see y'all.
Your hair has grown a little bit since the movie.
Yes. Also, since The Boys, there's you see my side shave coming.
Now, we only have a few minutes with you, unfortunately, and so tell everyone, about Scare Me and your part and why they should watch.
So Scare Me is a horror comedy. It's basically two people sitting and telling scary stories on a dark night where they've lost power, and you start to not know what's a story and what's real. Chris Redd is in it, who is hilarious. Josh Ruben wrote, directed, starred, probably did half of catering. We made this in Woodstock, New York for, a couple of Q-tips and a book of stamps, and I don't know where that came from, but and I play Fanny, who is a horror writer who blows Josh Ruben's character out of the water,
To say the least.
To say the least. And there's just some really fun, inventive things that happen. It's no special effects, minimal one set, and it's a lot of fun.
The chemistry was a lot of fun, and was that everything on script, or did you kind of go off the cuff a little bit?
We were able to improv quite a bit. There's a lot that is written, but Josh was basically like, best idea wins. If you come up with something, go for it. Let's try it. There's certain story beats we need to hit, but there was a lot of play. I have a little bit about Zumba in there because I do Zumba, always promoting Zumba. And Chris Redd is genius. So
he's hilarious.
He is actually, we did takes where we just sat there and let him go and go and go and go. It's brilliant.
Now, how did you keep from cracking up though when Josh was doing Devin and the faces he was making? I imagine there had to be a few takes on some of that.
Yeah, he has an elastic face. He can do whatever. This is what Josh does, is he creates characters, he creates voices, he does all this stuff. So yes, there's definitely moments where we cracked up on set.
We did get to see the movie, and folks, it's on Shudder October 1st. There's an article about it on Geek Insider as well. Meredith, before we run out of time, did you have another question?
I did. I wanted to know what it was like to work with Josh, because he was behind the camera. He also wrote and directed, and then he was co-acting, with you and stuff. That must have been interesting to see him running around like all, with that role.
Totally wild. He was, I can't believe he was good at all of it, which he was. He did a lot of prep, really relied on his director of photography to give him, the heads up if he wasn't doing something acting wise that he needed. And there was a lot of trust in that relationship. It's kind of a miracle that the movie got made. We shot 15 pages in one day once. He sort of made this happen for nothing, and but he was incredibly well prepared, and so you felt like you were in good hands no matter what. He also paid me in score bars, which was great.
Well, we know that you have to get going to the next thing, but Matthew, we always have one question that we ask all of our guests. I'm going to let you ask it, because I always screw it up.
Yes, you do. If you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh gosh. I would say relax.
Chill out, huh?
Well, and we know that you have to get going. I know that you're on a really tight schedule today, and I want to thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
Cash, Scare Me on Shudder. Thank you guys. Have a great day, and try and relax this weekend if you can.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
All right, and we're back. So let me drop this card here. Yeah. So, that was short and sweet. It was a lot of fun. I wish we had a little bit more time to spend with her.
Right.
But the next thing that we have is the trailer for Scare Me, and we do have express written permission to share it with our audience. So,
So yeah, YouTube, don't be dinging us with that copyright crap.
yeah, YouTube, we got permission. So there. And on that note, let's play the trailer.
Hi.
Hi. So what are you running from?
Running.
Well, this place looks haunted.
I'm writing.
Oh, really? Me too. So what are you working on?
It's kind of a revenge story about werewolves. You written anything I've read? Or?
I just wrote a book called Venus.
You wrote Venus. You're a best-selling author.
I'm so sorry. This road is actually only for best-selling authors, so I might kick you out.
You're not so great. Huh.
Power outage. I'm bored. Let's tell each other scary stories.
Have cheese, have veggie, right?
You seem like a fella who might be interested in some scary stories.
And you seem correct.
Hit me, Scare Master.
So, there's this little boy. You hear something.
Gasp.
This is the part in the story where the creepy strings kick in. Everything goes into slow motion.
Jesus Christ, dude.
It's a good story, right?
It's just been done like, I don't know, 600 or 700 times.
Just because you're the best-selling author doesn't mean you get to school me on story.
Actually, yes, it does.
Look at you! You are emasculated!
I'm going to get you.
Run, Jason! No witnesses! Do one about dead babies. Like an army of them? You know, they got like little baby hands. They just like, we don't want bottles, we want blood, you know?
Fred, what are you doing with that poker? Is this part of the story?
All right, and we're back. Again, we had permission to play the trailer, and I tell you what, both Matthew and I were in the green room, and we're like grinning from ear to ear. It's like supposed to be like this horror, but it's like this dark comedy, and it's just so much fun. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to.
Like I said, Brenda and I watched it. We really enjoyed it. Aya is just a character. And Josh, like she said in the interview, he has an elastic face. And there's just so many parts in there that we got a good laugh. There's not really any jump scares or anything like that, but there is a good twist in the story. And that's one thing that's always big for me is if it's, a unique take on a storyline and you've got good acting, good writing, but when it has a good twist and leaves you wondering at the end of it, because I got questions for Josh when we have him on October 1st, because, he wrote and directed it, but I'm going to have to warn people beforehand, okay, tune out for this spoiler, because I got to know, man. I got to know. But and what time we are having him October 1st at 5?
5.
Eastern? Yeah.
5 Eastern. Mm-hmm.
So that'll be another special episode, not at our regular time, but we do have him for more than 5 minutes. We are slated for 30. I'm hoping once we get going that he's not on this incredible gauntlet of interviews.
Well, we call it the gauntlet because it looks it looks painful just going from show to show to show,
right.
And you don't know what you're going to get on the other end. So kudos to Aya today for really pushing hard.
because I would have loved to ask her about her work on The Boys and projects that she's got coming up. And we love getting to know people. But this time around, we were just part of the gauntlet. And so we only had her for a few minutes. And folks, if you're listening to this on the podcast, make sure you swing over to YouTube, subscribe for one thing, but then give this a watch. One, Aya is absolutely beautiful, but then you can see the trailer if you haven't already. And then if you don't have a subscription to Shudder, there is an article on Geek Insider that I point out 7 reasons to subscribe to Shudder, and I get free movies from them as far as screeners go, and Meredith does too. I actually went and got a subscription to them because if you go and look, you can find a code for 30 free days, a 30-day trial. And then they have got the classics on there. They got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween 1, and then they skipped the shitty ones 2 and 3. And then they got 2, they skipped 3. Anyway, they got several of the old Halloweens. And one of the biggest draws for me was that they had Fade to Black. Now that is an old classic from the 80s. I love that movie. And if you go looking for it on Amazon or eBay, it's freaking expensive as hell. It's some kind of collector's edition or something, but they got it on there. It was the first thing I watched aside from the screeners. But October 1st, we're going to have Josh. We had Aya today. And then just make sure that you check out Shudder, folks. It's Halloween. Halloween month is coming. It's a perfect channel to accompany the Halloween month.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you know what? There isn't really any reason for us to continue on. I mean, we're pretty much done. We wanted to share that to you because we had it scheduled. Again, we were going to go live. We had to pivot and record that on Zoom. Yeah, pivoting. We were going to stream that live here. That didn't happen. We had to go ahead and do that on Zoom and record that. And so I'm just glad that we were able to figure out a way to get this to you and interact and stuff like that. But head over to Shudder. Again, the subscription is not that expensive. You can cancel at any time. Watch a whole bunch of horror movies. Get in the mood because this is like the Halloween season. I love it that it's getting cooler. People go wild and crazy for their pumpkin spice. I don't, but I love seeing the changing of the leaves and things like that. 'Tis the season, to
just give me the scares.
To frighten one another. I mean, that's the thing. You and I love writing horror stories and stuff. So this is our time, and scare me. Definitely look for it. October 1st.
Yep.
Matthew,
and then be sure to join us. Yeah, I was just going to say, be sure to join us on Sunday for Geeky Cheeky and Downright Freaky. This week, I am having a special guest, Kara Nicole. Mm-hmm. Guys, one thing, this is another one of those Kickstarters that just blew up. She wanted $1,000. She's over 20. And she's putting together a cosplay calendar that is just super hot. And so she is geeky and she is cheeky, and we're definitely having her on. Monday we got Bray Grant.
I'll say Bria.
Yeah, Bria.
I guess we'll figure out how to say her name.
And she is a writer, director, actress, but she's got a new graphic novel coming out that Rob is going to join me for the interview for.
Yeah,
Rob,
I know you guys totally kicked me out of the co-host seat, but I'm okay with that. I'm fine.
Well, he reviewed the book. And so, so Rob and I are going to have her on. And then Thursday at our regular time, we've got Josh Ruben. Yep.
But you know what? I want to insert here that we do have a special Geek Speak, and that is with, I believe, me and Rob. So, haha. You're
I see how you are.
And that's on Tuesday
with
swing it. Peter Semetti from Alterna Comics is going to be here, and he's going to be talking about his Kickstarter. So,
very cool.
Lots of stuff.
Yep, we got a full week coming up. Some great Kickstarter programs that are out there, or new programs that are coming. And then we're heading into October. We told you October 1st, but we've got a full month of stuff planned in October as well. And We've also got Shudder, who is getting us some more folks lined up for October and November, as well as full moon features and the indie event coming up. There's just so much shit planned in the next 6 weeks or so. So make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube. Meredith, take us out of here.
All right. I got to find the outro. There it is. See you later.
You've been tuning in to Geek Speak with Matthew Harris and Meredith Loughran, a Geek Insider presentation. Subscribe to the Geek Insider podcast on your favorite listening app and sign up for the newsletter on our website. We also have advertising opportunities through the website, podcast, and newsletter. For details, contact advertising at geekinsider.com. This has been a Geek Insider production. Thank you for listening. Geek out.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.